Noah Lyles walked up to the start line in Ostrava, Czech Republic on June 16, 2026, and the crowd already knew something big was about to happen. But nobody in that stadium, and nobody watching at home, knew just how big, because what Lyles did in the next 14 seconds did not just win a race. It sent a warning that the entire sprint world needed to hear. Let's go back to where this race started. Gout Gout had entered 2026 as the most exciting name in sprinting. The 18-year-old from Queensland, Australia ran 19.67 seconds in the 200 meters at the Australian Athletics Championships in April. That time was faster than what Usain Bolt ran at 18 years old. Bolt ran 19.93 at that same age back in 2004. Let that land for a second. Gout Gout was running times that made people forget about everyone else on the planet. People were not just calling him good, they were calling him the next Bolt. Media coverage was everywhere, his name was trending, and the comparisons were not just from fans. Track and field insiders were starting to say the same thing. So when the Ostrava Golden Spike announced that Gout Gout and Noah Lyles would meet for the very first time in a 150-meter race, the sprint world stopped and paid attention. This was the race everyone had been waiting for. And Gout Gout had already won the 200 meters at this same meet the year before, back in 2025, clocking 20.02 seconds in his first ever senior race in Europe. He knew the track, he knew the crowd, he came in with momentum. But there was a problem. The problem was named Noah Lyles. Before Ostrava, Lyles had been building quietly. Just 10 days earlier, he ran 9.88 seconds to win the 100 meters at the Diamond League stop in Rome. That was his fastest 100 since he won Olympic gold in Paris in 2024. He was not slowing down. He was speeding up, and Lyles had history with this distance. Back in 2024 at the Atlanta City Games, he ran 14.41 seconds in the 150 to tie the American record set by Tyson Gay. He had been chasing this event for years, getting closer every time. Then in April 2026, Jamaica's Kishane Thompson changed everything. Thompson 14.92 seconds at the Miramar Invitational in Florida, breaking a world best that had stood since Linford Christie set it back in 1994. 32 years. That record sat untouched for 32 years, and Thompson smashed it. The sprint world reacted like the distance had just become serious again. That set the stage for Ostrava. Lyles and Gout Gout trained together in the United States in the weeks before the race. They were photographed sprinting side by side in practice. They knew each other. They respected each other. And now they were about to race each other for the first time in a competitive setting. Here is where it gets interesting, because what happened next was not close. The gun fired at the Meski Stadion in Ostrava on June 16th. 8 runners, 1 distance, 1 winner. Lyles came out of the blocks and did not look back. He controlled the turn, built speed through the middle of the race, and pulled away in the final stretch. His time at the line, 14.67 seconds, a new world best. He had just beaten Kishane Thompson's 14.92 from April by 0.25 seconds. That gap is enormous at this level. South Africa's Sinisifo Dambiel came in second at 14.78, and Gout Gout finished third. His time was 14.96. The same time Thompson ran in second place at the Miramar Invitational 2 months earlier, the race where Thompson set the old world best. Gout Gout ran a time fast enough to have finished second in the previous world best race, and in Ostrava he finished third. That is not a bad race by any measure. His 14.96 was in fact a world best for the under 20 age group, but the gap between Gout Gout and Lyles was 0.29 seconds. In sprint racing, that is not a photo finish. That is a lane. After the race, Gout Gout walked over to Lyles and slapped high fives with him as the Czech crowd roared. He was not crushed. He told reporters it was the race he had been needing. He said he had an okay start but brought it home. He was calm, positive, and honest about where he stands. Lyles, though, had a different kind of response. He told reporters it was about time. The world record was quite slow. He also said to Czech TV, "Was there ever any doubt? Was there ever any doubt? We came for a show." That is not arrogance. That is a man who had been building to this moment for years and knew exactly what he was capable of. Here is what this race actually revealed, beyond just the time on the clock. The gap between first and second in Ostrava was 0.11 seconds. That was Lyles over Dambile. The gap between first and third was 0.29 seconds. That was Lyles over Gout Gout. These are not just numbers. They show where each athlete currently sits in terms of top-end speed, race execution, and ability to perform at world best level against elite competition. Gout Gout's 19.67 in the 200 meters was run at a national championship in April, with clear conditions, in a race he dominated from the front. Lyles at Ostrava was running against the second-best 150-meter time ever recorded, under meet conditions, at a gold-level Continental Tour event, and he made it look easy. Lyles has won the 200-meter world title 4 times in a row. He matched Usain Bolt's record of 4 straight world 200 titles at the 2025 World Athletics Championships. He is also the reigning Olympic 100-meter champion from Paris 2024. This is not a man in decline. This is a man who is still at the top. The question people were asking before Ostrava was whether Gout Gout was already ready to compete with Lyles. The question people are asking after Ostrava is how long it will take. And there is one more detail that matters here. Gout Gout said after the race that he had an okay start. He also said his back half was strong. If those two things are both true, and his start was not where it needed to be, then his ceiling is still higher than 14.96. That is genuinely exciting for the future of this sport. But it also means that what you saw in Ostrava was not even Gout Gout's best race, and Lyles still won by nearly 0.3 of a second. We started this video talking about a warning to every young sprinter on the planet. So what exactly was that warning, and who else needs to hear it? The sprint world is not short of exciting young talent right now. Gout Gout is 18. He is already running faster than Bolt at the same age. He is going to get better, and he knows it. He said after Ostrava that the race was what he needed. That is the mindset of an athlete who understands where he is in the process. But what Lyles showed in Ostrava is that knowing you can be great someday is different from being great right now. The gap between potential and performance is exactly where elite experience lives. Lyles knew how to attack the curve, carry speed into the straight, and not waste a single step. That is not talent. That is years of racing at the highest level. Usain Bolt still holds the fastest time ever run over 150 meters, 14.35 seconds, set while running his 200-meter world record of 19.19 in Berlin in 2009. Lyles at 14.67 is now second all-time. He closed the gap to Bolt's mark by 0.25 seconds from where Thompson sat at 14.92. And here is what nobody is talking about yet. Lyles told reporters after the race that he felt he could have had a better turn. He said it is very hard to get used to the staggered 150 start, especially without blocks in practice. He ran a world best and still saw room to improve. That is the level Gout Gout will eventually need to reach. Not just the time, the self-awareness about what was left on the table even after breaking the world best. Gout Gout finished that race in Ostrava with a world best for his age group. He will be back, he will keep running. And one day this matchup is going to look very different.